Hello, hello. How's it going?
Not too bad, bro. Not too bad. How about you?
Yeah, as usual.
Good as usual, yeah?
Great as usual. As usual, bro. As usual.
Good, man.
Cool, man. Cool. So yeah, it was a interesting day yesterday. We completed the pre-call process and went through it with the offer owners and the closers, and
Yeah,
they're all like super, super excited for that.
yeah,
That's gonna crush it, bro.
yeah.
That's gonna crush.
To be honest, the offer alone, just the offer alone, is like 10 out of 10. It's a underserved market. It's a done-for-you solution that allows people to make money very quickly and make the
Yeah,
ROI in the first 2 to 3 weeks. Like, bro, that offer is gonna crush it. And then we add on top of that all the marketing, sales best practices we're doing. Yeah. We're gonna have to, what we'll do,
yeah,
we'll do like updates on our different partner clients' revenue, where they're at every day, like
yeah,
Ryan
yeah,
Cook style, right?
yeah, yeah. That would be amazing. We should do that.
Yeah,
And also just different stages, right? We have like clients from different stages. Some of them are just launching,
yeah,
they're refining their offer, so developing all those stuff. Yeah, that'll be interesting.
yeah. It's interesting then we haven't done any client acquisition for a little while because we've just been in the trenches with our clients getting
Yeah,
results, but we're going back to client acquisition. So actually I wanted to talk funnels today.
yeah,
Because I've seen some really interesting developments. I'm part of like quite a few like kind of small niche communities with like marketers, agency owners, etc. Yeah, there's a couple of things that are definitely worth speaking on, so we can kind of get into some bits there.
yeah, for sure, man. You're the funnels guy, you're the marketing guy, ads.
So
So go for it, bro.
yeah, so I mean,
Give them the
give
sauce.
them the sauce, give them the sauce. Yeah, honestly, this is going to be a masterclass on what's working in 2025. So hey, that's
Yeah,
my open loop, and you won't believe what comes next. But yeah, basically, long story short, right now, for most offer owners and most offers, I'm seeing a real pivot and shift in kind of customer buying journeys. And it's kind of like before, basically, what it was is the VSL funnel works. It works really well.
yeah,
But it's what I'm seeing right now is it's working very well for like very high income leads and for like very sophisticated buyers, right? So if you're
yeah,
selling CRO or email marketing to ecom, you're gonna need a VSL. You are the thousandth person they've spoken to this week who says they do something like that, right? Or thousandth person they've seen this week. Right. And this is
yeah,
the interesting part that I'm seeing right now. So I see that I'm a bit loud up here. This is the interesting part I'm seeing right now. For most offers, our best performing funnels right now are straight direct to calendar funnels. And obviously that's that
mm,
like some people think that it's just like, oh, you just get a link and you get sent to the calendar. There's no friction, there's no qualification. That's not what I mean. I mean, no real VSL on the front end, just a strong value proposition, couple qualifying questions, send them to the calendar, and then you do the rest of the selling on the back end in the sales process. It's like the metrics we're seeing right now are absolutely bonkers. So I'll share my screen, we can walk through some bits.
And is it like they book a call first and then the VSL and everything kind of come in?
Exactly, exactly. And I
Yeah,
think the reason that's working, I mean, I want to kind of like test it over a longer period of time with like put a lot more spend through it and see how that kind of those numbers average out. Right now, what we're seeing is like ridiculous click-through rates on the top of funnel. So I run through this funnel real quick. So
yeah,
I think we showed this a couple of days ago, right? But this funnel, the lander is really simple. Call out, very good headline. Best practices. Are you interested in XYZ? Now, the reason this is working so well is because the niche and the person we're selling to is such a dialed niche. It's not like salespeople in XYZ different industries, like you're selling a biz up offer for like, hey, become a high ticket closer. It's like very
yeah,
specifically just for car salespeople and like kind of like automotive salespeople, right? And I guess we can walk through the funnel. So, if you want to steal it, you can try. There's obviously a lot more that goes into making this work, but hey, give it your best shot. Step two, how much would it take to replace them with commissions? This question right now is, for me anyway, this will get overused and then we're going to have to pivot the way we present it again. But right now, this is the lowest
always
friction
changing,
way.
huh?
Yeah, it's always going to have to be updated because someone's going to find it. I reckon some big market with a big YouTube channel will find one of our videos eventually, or a friend of theirs, I'll send this and they'll be like, yo, bro, have you seen this? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
But this question for qualification is shit right now. And again, I'll go for the metrics. And two reasons. A, we're not asking them how much money do you make, it's asking how much would you take to replace. So it's a subtle way of qualifying for capital and income, right? And then obviously
Yeah.
standard biz up, third page. Imagine it's 6 months from today, you have a fully remote, blah, 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 100% return investment. To make this reality, how much are you willing to invest into building a profitable remote dealership operation? Again, qualifying for income and kind of investment. So what I wanted to run through though is the metrics here, because the metrics are ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. So in my experience on a standard VSL funnel, right, on a bog standard VSL funnel, we can take a look at a bog standard VSL funnel as well in a moment. You see about a 15 to 25% click-through rate, especially if you've got your target tight and you're doing like disqualification on the front end, because you can have obviously higher than that, but that's specifically if you're just letting anybody click through, right? But
Yeah.
we're seeing here a 26% completion rate. And completion rate is all the way to, the thank you page, which is after their books and the course. So 26% of leads which are hopping on this calendar or on this funnel are booking in with us, which is it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what the industry average is, but I've seen people talk and play around with numbers like 15, 20, 25%. And even that little 1% extra is making a big difference, especially considering you can whip together a funnel like this in 25, 30 minutes if you really know what you're doing. And use
Yeah.
perspective, by the way. I think we're gonna
Yeah. I was gonna ask, like, what are you using when it comes to this? Because I remember whenever you need to do a new funnel or make updates, like the turnaround is like so quick.
yeah. I mean, to be honest, like perspective funnels I think it works really well for three reasons. A is like the quizzes, the aspect of it, kind of like the type form or go high level forms aspect or surveys aspect of it is like it's new, so it's not something that people are seeing all the time. And the thing is with like type forms and XYZ, people kind of get over it eventually. They're like, I've seen this 1,000 times, I know what this is now. But especially when you sell it to
Yeah.
B2C, it gets played out and just more and more people use it. B, the load time on these sites is lightning fast. Like literally the load time is quicker than any other funnel we've ever used. And when I say
Yeah.
load time, I mean like when someone clicks from a link from an ad and lands on the funnel, like it loads in like 0.3 seconds or something like that, which is just sick, right?
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, like the turnaround time to get a new funnel launched is super, super short as well. So I mean, if we look at
Yeah.
these
It's huge.
these these metrics here, right? So we're seeing a 33% click-through rate to page two. We're seeing from page two, we're seeing a 95% click-through rate to page three and a 92% click-through rate to page four. Or I mean, that's not including the booking page. I don't know why it doesn't include the booking page, but it's not including the booking page here. So out of all the people that land on page three, I don't know how many of them are booking in because it isn't here for some reason. The metrics are just crazy right now. Beautiful, beautiful. And the funny thing is, like, we're not using this funnel for its design intention, which is to be lead form funnels or collect like contact info. We're just doing straight direct to calendar. But the metrics are just
Yeah.
really, really good. And then the calendar page is super simple. The application is
Yeah.
pre-approved.
What
Go on.
Why do you feel like a VSL funnel doesn't work right now when it used to work before?
I think it works. Like, I don't want to get it twisted. I think it works. It's just that for me, for most average or amateur marketers, right, the way I think about a VSL funnel is like you are adding another variable you have to get right. Does that make
Yeah.
sense? So
Mm.
if you put together a crappy VSL and the first thing people see are like folks like Jeremy Haynes, Ben Bader, those kind of guys, like the top guys, obviously their VSL funnels will always crush because they're the best. But for most average Joe marketers, with all due respect, your VSLs are kind of crap, right?
Mm.
I, at this point, have seen 100 VSLs where I'm like, bro, they're just trying sell, 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 sell. Here's the emotion, here's the emotion. It's like, and then they get it mixed up as well because they like the three markets is like B2B. Am I selling to business owners who want information more than they want framing, right? Am I selling to B2C, the
Yeah.
general population, where these are people who just need to be sold the dream, the dream, the dream? Am I selling to rich folks who want to know the information? They want to know the metrics behind everything. They want to know what kind of KPIs you can expect. Like, you know, I know a chap that was
Yeah.
running he was running a life insurance funnel, but it wasn't life insurance. He, on the front end, it was like they were selling a property investment course for like 2K, with like obviously with the sales process, VSL funnel calendar, etc. And then on the back end, the upsell from that was people getting into like a whole life insurance policy, which is like $1 million. Or, you know, 1
Yeah.
million, 4 million, $5 million, like, and the commission for the salesperson is just ridiculous. And for the company is ridiculous as well. Now, that was crushing, obviously, because there's so much information that goes into selling a program like that to rich folks. But I see a lot of people trying to do a lot of the training on the front end, which actually has a lot of kind of like friction for the lead. Because if you're a standard, you know, you're a college grad, right, and you want to build an online business, you know what drop shipping is, right? You know what e-commerce, you know
Yeah.
what SMA is, you've done the research, right? You just want to
Mm.
kind of click through and take action. And then the final thing to kind of clarify is that on these funnels, like, we do have a VSL, right? We do have a full VSL on these pages, right? That kind of sells the vehicle, sells the opportunity, etc. But you do it after the booking. And for me, like,
Getting micro commitments, right?
exactly. And when you look at the kind of the way, yeah, you've hit the nail on the head. Like, when you look at the way the funnel works, like, micro commitment, am I interested in this? Yeah, I'm interested in that. How much would it take to replace this? Oh, okay, I guess it would be this much. You know, if it was this much, how much would I invest? Oh, I'd invest about this much. Booking page, boom, then they hit the VSL. And the thing is, metrics are, we can look at another funnel in a second, but, you know, we're looking at a 36%. I mean, it's just like that, but looking at 36% click-through rate from page 1 to page 2. And then, you know, I'll look at another funnel. This one's even funnier, right? Because this one doesn't even have a headline. It's just straight, are you interested in
Yeah.
XYZ? That is the headline to a certain degree. But if I look at these metrics, again, this one's, it's not very different, but it is marketing to, like, we're marketing to a warm audience, because this person's got a massive, you know, network online. But on paper, we're looking at a 100% click through rate here, bro. Stupid. That's so ridiculous, bro. That's so stupid.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how you measure it. Like, VSL funnels, when we were running the offer for Wisdom Speaks, for example, like, his click-through rate wasn't 100% on the first page, and he was in a similar situation where we're doing targeting warm audiences who know, like, trust you already. So, like, right now, this is bizarre, and this is bizarre. And I'll do some
Yeah.
updates every other day to just kind of let people know how these funnels are progressing and if they're working when we ramp up ad spend and go into cold traffic, etc. But man, these direct to calendar funnels are just working really well. And if you want to implement something like this, the first thing you need to do is just work out, okay, how do I turn the value proposition into a question? Are you interested in building a multi-figure content business in the next 90 days? Normally that would be, I'll help you build a 90 next 90 days. Yawn over it, heard it a million times before. Yes, I'm interested. No, I'm not
Yeah.
interested. Big through, a little bit of qualification. I've seen people add, you know, I was going through a funnel today of a guy who is in the same network as me, right? He's in the French market selling to med spas, osteopaths, chiropractors, you know, kind of not doctors, but like the other side of medicine that's private, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And he's got a 24% like link click to booking rate through his funnel.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is, he's got an opt-in before his booking page, bro. He's got an opt-in, right?
Yeah.
So that automatically takes away like 5-6% of bookings, because people are like, I don't want to give my details, etc. But these quiz funnels, these DC funnels, kind of like, that's essentially what these are. They're just crushing, man. I think it's for two reasons: A, because you've reduced the friction up front, and B, because it's the opposite of what everyone else is doing.
Yeah. That's the best way to market, right? Do what
Yeah.
everyone else is not doing.
Well, I mean, it's like, you follow best practices. You need a strong offer. You need a strong value proposition. You need social proof. You need a VSL. You need all those things, right? But it's just going against the grain, because when everybody goes for webinars, you want to do low ticket offers. When everyone goes low ticket offers, do a book funnel. When everyone does book funnels, you want to go VSL. What I'm kind of seeing is that right now, the two funnels that I see that are working the best, like unequivocally when we run them and other people run them is Instagram funnel. It's like we run Instagram follower funnels for some of our clients if they have like a decent organic, presence
Yeah.
already, right? But the follow funnel was like DM retargeting ads and just kind of straight to a DM and a set of hooks. And then that we've had our highest ROAS ever running that funnel. We had a 33x ROAS just running that funnel.
Yeah.
And then on the other end of the spectrum, these DTC funnels. And then when we run VSL funnels, on the other hand, they're just not converting the same. And I want to give it a couple more days because I don't want to just pivot everybody who are running funnels forward to DTC funnels without getting a bit more proof of concept for them. But if it continues like this by the end of next week, every one of our clients will be having one of these funnels. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
And the only difference would be is if you don't have like a solid value proposition. So there are certain like mental health or like, certain offers where the value proposition isn't as solid, and especially if you don't have your offer defined yet. Because some people come to us and they have like, hey, I've got this idea, this is what I want to sell. I have this course and it runs to everything, but I don't know who I want to sell to and what outcome they get. For that person, it's probably worth testing a few different versions of like VSLs and get a bit of and understand what people are looking to buy from you. But if you
Yeah.
have a strong value proposition and offer, just stick it on a quiz funnel, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. No, this is nice, man. Yeah, like I see, and the clients when they see it, they're like, okay, it makes sense, right? Like they're happy with the changes that we made. But yeah,
Yeah,
like funnels, they're cool, but like yeah, there's also other things that has to come into play when you run this kind of funnel. It's not like
of course.
you can just keep everything else the same and then just make changes on this side.
Yeah, because the problem is with this funnel, right? Because in everything there's a pro and a con. The problem with this funnel is that there's less framing that you can do because of VSL. Although only like 16-20% of your leads will ever watch it, cool. Like there
Yeah,
is more like selling you can do if someone watches a VSL. If a really high intent lead watches your full VSL, like yeah, they're much closer to a
yeah,
buy. But that's why you need to get the pre-call process right. That's why you need to get, one thing that I've wanted to implement. I think I just sent you the message on this is I want to implement for all of our triages and sellers like a proper pre-call process, because with this funnel you have slightly less sales intent because of the way that you present in the funnel. So what we need to be doing is having our triages reach out to every single lead saying, hey, Mike, I just saw you booked on a call to find out how to XYZ. Really excited to see how that goes for you, man. Just out of interest, like what has you interested in this? Oh, XYZ, create a bit of a gap, blah, 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 create the gap and say, yeah, man. So if you check your inbox, I've just sent, and we can just have like, honestly, we just set up a form. We'll set up like a go high level form the triage can use, insert the email address, insert their reason for doing it. I've just sent you an asset that will walk you through everything that we do. On said asset, we have the 30-minute free training, which is the VSL in practice. We have the Gamma doc with all the
yeah,
information, the FAQs, etc. So basically, just increasing, consumption on the back end, because this is essentially what
yeah,
it's almost sound. This is almost like the best of both worlds of like a lead form and a VSL funnel, where you're getting people to go through quickly, and then you're getting the sales process done with setters, right?
yeah,
And then you have dialed close on the back end who like believe in their offer.
yeah,
You're good. You know what I mean?
yeah, yep, yeah. That's great. Cause like yeah, that's like the whole process, right? Because doing this in itself is gonna create misalignment with the sales process, right? So I feel like having that triager and all the assets along the way that we send to them just build their interest, right? So they go from here, low intent, to like this is where we want them to be before the call. Then
Yeah,
they slowly take the micro commitments and they learn about our offer
yeah,
up to this point, basically, instead of going from here to here immediately.
yeah. Well, I mean, to this day, right? I just checked our open rates for this offer exactly, actually, and I looked at the open rates in the pre-call email sequence. Right, we sent 16 emails, bro. 16 emails, a couple WhatsApp automations, and we don't have A2P yet, but we'll be sending SMS as well. You know our open
But I heard last time it's like above 50%, right?
Yeah,
For most of them.
60%. On 16 emails, 60% of them get open. Our click-through rate
Yeah,
when we're sending them to the Gamma doc is 10 to 15%, bro. Just ridiculous. It's
yeah,
absolutely ridiculous. There's no way to kind of like spin it. Like, so I mean, if you are wondering how to use a quick and effective funnel, run a quiz/DTC funnel like this, and then just make sure your sales process does the selling. The biggest mistake that you can make as a marketer, in my opinion, is just assuming that because someone's booked a call in, they're going to buy it from you. Like, you got 72 hours to get that person to believe in your offer and want to take action. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. Especially if they come in cold, right?
Yeah.
Like
And that's the thing. You've got
that's
to
like the
crack.
strategy.
Yeah, you've got to crack cold ads if you want to scale. Like, there's no two ways about it. Even the follow ad funnel is just like, follow ads is just a cold audience, man. That's all it is. You know.
Yeah,
But like, you've gotta crack cold advertising if you want to scale, because if you can only ever sell to people, like, great, but you need to make more people know about you. And
yeah,
most people, like, some very capable marketers, don't get it twisted, fall at that first hurdle, which is marketing to warm audiences, let alone cold audiences. So it's just one of those ones. And the other thing that you need to do as well, especially if you have a sales team, and if you are your sales team, you are the closer, you need to have really high standards for the information you gather from calls. Like, I was watching a Fazio video not so long ago, and he was talking about how he writes his VSLs, right? And his VSLs are like 30% framing and information and FAQ, right? So you take,
yeah.
let's say, 20 calls in a week, right? You take the top 10 FAQs, add them to your VSL, reshoot it, man. Next week, same thing, add them to your VSL, reshoot it. Eventually, you will cover pretty much every FAQ. And then what you do is turn each of those FAQs as well into a short form video you send to them before the call as well. So it's just, everything you could do, everything you could possibly do is kind of covered. And then obviously you
Yeah.
throw in the gamma docs and everything there as well. You push it, man.
Yeah, 100%. And talking about like, getting FAQs from the call that you take and stuff.
Yeah.
That's one thing, right? That's one thing that we implement and we're very like diligent when it comes to that. Like, hey, give like for the closers, right? And if you're the offer owner and you're closing the deals yourself, make sure you have very detailed notes
Yeah.
of like what the objection was and what the questions, what their concerns are, like everything. Those information are going to be taken back into marketing, and then we're going to put that in the marketing side of
Yeah.
things, right?
I mean, one of the worst things you can have is closers who give just like, yeah, the leads weren't qualified. Right. What do you
Yeah,
mean by that?
that's not going to help anyone.
No,
Yeah,
no, it's like, yeah. I mean, normally the question you got to ask is, what do you mean by that? Why? And then you got to answer. Leads weren't qualified. What do you mean by that? Oh, well, they just said they didn't have the money. Why? Well, they said they didn't understand it and said it was quite an investment. Why? Oh, well, they actually didn't understand how the XYZ part of the process works. Okay, why? Oh, because I don't think the pitch covered everything. Great. Now we've got to the core of everything of what actually needs to be built in. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
now, when you have a closer, you're just like, oh, the leads aren't qualified. The leads aren't qualified. First off, oftentimes that's just like self-preservation because they just didn't close the deal. But then that kind of ties into what we talked about yesterday. Like, stop looking to close and start looking to help. You'll close more deals when you don't go for the close. I remember when I was on the mortgage offer, you know, not so long ago, closing on the mortgage offer. I would literally, out of wanting the best for people. Oh, music just started. Let's cut this part out. Out of wanting the best for people, right?
yeah,
If someone wasn't qualified, I'd be like, hey man, I'll be honest, I don't think this is the best move for you right now. And that might be due to like they don't target a big enough area or they don't have enough ad spend or whatever it may be. You just say like, hey, this ain't for you. And then say like, work these things out and then let's come talk to us again. And oftentimes they'd be like, okay, what can I do to get that? It's like, well, you can do this, and this. And I remember one guy I actually spoke to maybe 2, 3 months prior when I was closing on the offer and I gave him like a roadmap of things to implement. I was like, bro, expand into these locations so that you can have a wider base of people you can target. Maybe hire one more mortgage agent so you can do like 30, 40% more, mortgages a month. Okay. And like then come back to me, because when you have those things set up, like on paper, we can actually run ads. But if we run ads in your little 1 mile radius, bro, it's just a waste of your money. You did those things, came back
yeah.
and 30K piffed on the call, you know?
Nice. Yeah, that's why you don't want to waste these, right? You want to give something to them, even if you can't help them on the
Yeah.
call,
Yeah.
because they might come back in the future. So,
Exactly.
yeah.
I mean, I think people, it's like, it's got to be a close or it's a no close. And it's like, hey, man, it's like, how well did I help this person? If you really can help them and the product it makes sense for them, then obviously that's the move. But anything else apart from that, just give them some value. Tell them, hey, let's talk in another month or so. Then you go from there, bro. And,
Yeah.
a lot of princess closes, bro. And this is the difference. Princess, prissy little closers like, ew, I need my leads warm and everybody's going to come to me ready to buy. those sorts of guys, they struggle. It doesn't matter what level you go to, they'll struggle when you try and actually like run to cold orders because they'll close laydowns, but anything else is
Yeah.
unqualified. You know, it's not a good lead. The leads are crap. It's like, no,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
First off, you don't believe in the offer. Second off, you ain't that good at closing. And third off, bro, this is part of the game, man. You talk to someone today and they'll buy in 4 weeks. Like, are you really that upset? You know, you make
Yeah.
like $250 or 1K commission from having this conversation. It's 2 hours of your time
Yeah.
over 2 weeks. You make $1,000. Why are you so upset? What's wrong with you? You know?
Yeah. Yeah. And like that's the thing, right? Like if you're a closer and you only close laydowns, you're not a closer.
No, you're
You're
not.
just a order taker,
Yeah,
basically,
yeah.
right? A closer's job is to actually close. You're gonna get like 20%, 30% laydowns.
Mm.
But then the rest of
If that,
the
bro.
people, if that, yeah,
Yeah,
if like considering everything else, the offer owner like has super warm leads
yeah.
and all that kind of
Because I
stuff.
mean,
But
think of William Brown, right? William Brown, the way he scaled his trading program was all through cold paid ads, bro. He had no content.
mm,
Every
yeah,
single lead that came, obviously they had retargeting and maybe they had lead mags. I don't know their exact like ad strategy and funnels, but like you can imagine if they're doing cold paid ads and no content, like 90% of their leads are going to be pretty damn cold. You know,
yeah,
his closes would have
yeah,
had to be dialed, bro, dialed. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, 100%. Yeah,
Mm. And yeah, but like as you were saying, like 10, 15, maybe if you're lucky, 20% of your leads are going to be laydowns. And like, you know, you look at the best of the best, the Jeremy Miners, the Matt Riders, the James Tokos, bro, closing at 80, 90%. Like, you can't do that if you can only close warm leads. It's not possible,
yeah,
you know?
yeah, no,
Mm.
yeah,
But then at the same time, in marketing, it is your job to warm up said leads. Because again, you get into this,
yeah,
sometimes you get into this like negative cycle where sales blames marketing, marketing blames leadership, blames sales, and it's like this whole thing. And you know, I've found as well
yeah,
that's super useful about our service is kind of stopping that cycle. Outside of all the stuff we implement, is actually giving clarity to what's going on. Because people just be panicking, man. It makes sense. Like you're spending $1,000 a day trying to grow your business, and you don't know why you're not making $1,000 back every day, and you come to an agency owner or you've been through a few agency owners, they're just like, yeah, man, sorry, boy, your offer's not great. It's like, no. Then you go through a couple of salespeople, they're like, yeah, man, the lead's not great. It's like, no. It's like this whole. That's why we call it the end-to-end scaling system, right? Because truly every single part of the process, delivery feeds marketing, marketing feeds sales, sales feeds delivery, and it goes round and round and round and round. And it should be a positive
yeah,
feedback loop rather than it being like, just a snowball effect falling off a cliff. You know what I mean?
yeah, 100%. And that's why with our clients, we have every once in a while, we have like at least once a month a call with the sales team, the marketing
Yeah,
team, the leadership team, and
get together.
everyone has to be there. Just give feedback, work it out. Find like ways to like improve things instead of just pointing fingers and blaming. And everyone has to be on the same page.
Yeah, one hundred
So
percent.
yeah,
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 yeah. I
cool.
mean, I hope that was a hopeful funnel. I hope that was a helpful funnel breakdown for today. I think today's episode is going to be a little shorter because I gotta run.
Uh, yeah,
But
all good, bro. It's very insightful. Hopefully, you guys can implement it. And if you're looking for like a platform to use,
use perspective,
perspective,
man.
that's what we use.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Integrates with Go High Level. Integrates with Meta. Integrates with every channel you could think of. You know, you can have a pixel from flipping Reddit if you want. You know,
yeah, yeah.
cool.
Cool. Awesome, bro. Let's get back to work. And yeah, I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, man. Speak to you later.